Got me confused. I'm confused. I'm spinning, I'm spinning, spinning, I'm spinning.
Well, hello there. We're gonna grab our shapies and we're gonna build the bottom piece of our taper by using the shapies, aka the shape up clippers. So I'm gonna draw a line and come down to about mid part of my ear. And as you can see, I'm pulling my skin so that I can get a close cut, get that bald spot right there. Don't have the best clippers, but we gonna make it work. So I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side, just for symmetrical reasons. So you're gonna do the same exact thing you did on the other side. I hope you got a mirror, because you're gonna need one of those, because we gotta do the back. Alright, so we're gonna do the same exact thing back here with our baseline, but where you start is your preference. I'm gonna start at about right here. This is typically where my do-rag line stops, so I'm gonna just put my base there. So now we're gonna grab our clippers with the one guard and push the whatchamacallit up. Yep, I call it a whatchamacallit. And we're gonna go about half an inch up above the baseline. Now, what I'm gonna do next, after going up, I'm gonna go down just above that second part that we did. I wanna give it more of an effect. You don't really have to do this. There's other ways of fading out, but it just, helps and works for me. Okay, so now we're going to use the corner of the clippers in the same form that it's already in and go between the two parts that we just did, so the second and third piece, and kind of just go back and forth with the clippers and fade it. It really is an art, so you have to, look in all angles. Oh, and please brush. I didn't brush here, but brush as you go. Is it okay? Here comes the intimidating part. Gonna take off the guard and we're gonna push our whatchamacallit all the way back, and we're gonna fade out the bottom piece, our original line. So we're gonna use the corner of the clipper and we're gonna use it as an angle to fade out between the baseline and the second part. Make sure you're brushing, looking at all angles, and just making sure that you're focused on not going too high, but just fading. Nothing too scary. You can definitely do it. You can do it. You can do it. Alrighty, time for the bizac. Alright, so we're pretty much going to do the same thing that we did on the sides, in its same form. Okay, we're going to go up about 1/2 inch. You don't want to go up too high, and if it's easy to go up too high because it's pretty delicate back here, you know what I mean? Especially if you wear a do-rag. So pay attention to that, especially on the sides of the back. Speaking of going too high, I definitely did that, but it's okay because we're gonna finesse it.
Oh, now you want to brush?
All right, same ish, different sides. So the two sides, what we did there, we're gonna do exactly the same thing to the back by going down on the second layer to kind of start that fade at the top. And of course at the bottom, we're gonna fade that out with the guard off. But be careful back here, especially if you wear a do-rag, these hairs are delicate. But if you happen to take a little bit too much hair off, not only can you go higher, but you can have another chance by day 2, 3. Ooh, that fade looking about decent. You know, you got to encourage yourself when you're doing this. You know, you're standing there for about 30 minutes to an hour. You know, you have to like literally lift yourself up. So anyway, this part right here, normally you want to pull your skin like how we did with the baseline of the fade. When you're doing your shape up, you want to pull your skin, but I didn't do it here. I'll show you on the other side. And as you can see, I kind of, you know, am drawing with the shape up clippers by using the corners. It pretty much just allows you to be able to become more flexible with the curves. And everybody's facial structure is different, so you can't apply the same exact rule for everybody, but you know, once you start, you'll pretty much know what works for you. And this is exactly what I was talking about, pulling your skin. This allows you to be able to create the line, which is hard to see, by the way. Not even just because I'm holding my eye hostage, but it's, you know, it's hard to see. So once you let it go, which you probably should do after a few taps on that line with the clippers, just to see if that line is actually there, so that you don't continue to cut just because you can't see it at that moment. Like, give it a few taps, then look in the mirror, see what your progression is, and then take it from there. And here I'm basically just drawing on my face, like, you know, following a line from the sideburn to my beard by just going against it with the corner of the clippers like I did the other side. And that's just going to be the best outcome for someone cutting their own hair. I noticed that one side is more fat than the other side, so I'm going to make it more skinnier. I'm going to just draw with the corner, of course, again. Kind of follow the line that I want to see, and then end up fixing up the straight part of the beard. So I wanted to show you guys this view just because sometimes it's hard to see it when you're looking directly into the mirror. So also keep that in mind. Like, that's why it's important for you to turn your head a lot when you're shaping yourself up. So of course this is the easiest part. I'm literally just tapping away. It's this corner right here that can be kind of complex if not handled with care. You know, you can definitely do it, but just make sure that, you know, you're not tapping too much away at that corner, because it's something that's pretty delicate, especially this part right here, which is the reason I'm pulling my skin. you want to shape up on the furthest line that you can find on that part. And once you find that line, keep it like that. I find it that, some barbers don't even cut on that part just because, pulling down from the main hairline shapes that part up enough. So, just kind of use your own judgment call. It's pretty self-explanatory back here, but just as quick facts, you want to start from the top. That way you can actually start from a line that you can see, because once you go down to the bottom is when you kind of have to use your imagination, or just use that main line that you can see to imagine what that line would be right there. And eventually it'll kind of come together, but that's one of the things that, barber really can't teach you. You kind of just have to look at yourself. But voila, pat yourself on the back.